Hi. Hey. Welcome to POV, You're My Therapist, the podcast where I vent, you listen, and you do not get paid. First of all, I just want to let you guys know that me and Beyonce currently have on the same wig. Just so you know, me and Beyonce, same wig. And no, I did not have to grow these inches on some Slavic twins head. This is Kendra's Boutique, 100% raw Brazilian, and I dyed this bitch myself. I dyed this bitch myself. So not saying Beyonce keep up, but Beyonce, I'm coming for you. Yeah, bro. I was looking at the concert footage last night and I was like, 20, 40, 80 at the track, hit it with the girl. And I was like, not me and Beyonce got on the same wig, y'all. This is cray. But me and Beyonce got on the same wig. And I just think that's crazy. But yeah, she looks so good. Miss Mother is doing her thing. And like this is the thing, right? So I was not gonna go to the concert. I wasn't. I was not gonna go to the Renaissance Ball because she's a billionaire. Congratulations, she's a black billionaire. I am not even a millionaire. Okay? I cannot in good conscience give this lady my money. But then I saw she added a third night in Atlanta. And the tickets were only they were quite cheap. So I was like, oh, you know what? I might go see Mother. And then now everybody is posting about it on Twitter. I just feel left out. Like, first night of the tour and I'm already feeling left out. Like, that's sick. You're sick. Regardless. But yeah, so I really just had to let it be known that I'm not copying Beyonce. Beyonce is copying me. Okay? So when you see this unit with these 6 fucking bundles, bitch, you see how thick this is? That's 6 bundles. That's rent, honey. That's a lot. So when you see that, don't be like, Divine want to be Beyonce so bad. Divine is thinking she want to be Beyonce the second. She's not, okay? She's not. Beyonce saw my wig. I don't know how, but she did. She saw my wig and she said, I need my hair to look like that. Okay. So I just need to get off my chest because it's really hard when people are constantly copying you and they have no sense of originality. That's wild. Get your own personality, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, that being said, this week's episode, before we even get into the nitty-gritty of it all, I want to remind you that the best way to support an independent podcast is by sharing it, hun. It's by sharing the podcast. I now have a Patreon, and for the same price as a cup of coffee, you can support me on there. You can give me $5 a month to help a suffering African child. Okay? Suffering real bad. So if you want to support me, there are ways you can do it. You can buy merch. We still got merch for sale. We got it all. And I'm excited to start this new thing with y'all. But I appreciate your support. I appreciate y'all tuning back in every week, listening to me and my shenanigans. You come back every week knowing that Divine is gonna shenan again. And I just appreciate you so much for it because you love me. You really, really love me. And I just feel like I can be myself. There's just so much more under the surface than just, Beyonce's muse. There's so much more to me than that. And I'm glad that every week y'all come back and y'all say, show us more, sis. Show us your mental illness as it develops. Show it all. Bury your soul. So, but yeah, so support me in any way you can. Feel comfortable to. I appreciate all of it. I appreciate the streams. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the ratings. I appreciate it all. I love it all. And I love you all, okay? So this week, I want to talk about something a little different. Divine is not really in her bitter era right now. No, she's not in her bitter era. Why is Divine not in her bitter era? Is it because therapy has been working? Absolutely not. That's not why Divine is not in her bitter era. Therapy, recently I've just been finding therapy is just a little too real. because my therapist will say something, or I will say something to her, and she'll just like tell me the truth. And I'm like, why would you do that? Like, that's sick. Like, I don't, yes, I'm being avoidant. Yes, I'm being completely unreasonable by wanting a man to literally just like stop his whole life and just like make me the center of his world. Like, okay, but like, you don't have to say that. It's so rude. It's so rude to say that. Like, why are you like, and like sometimes like I'm wrong, and then she'll like tell me that, which is like, it's too much. Like, it's too much. And I'm like, you're my therapist. Like, you're not supposed to stick up for these bitches. I'm right. And you're supposed to agree. That's why I'm paying you to agree with me. Okay. But yeah, so I had a couple moments this week, not this week, but like recently, where I'm like, this getting a little too real. Why you being hostile by telling me about myself? I don't like that. You're being hostile. Okay. So, but I took a step back, and I started, reevaluating myself, because let me tell you something. So, I always like to tell you guys about my love life as it's happening. Or like not as it's happening. But anyway, so I've been talking to somebody new, right? And this is the guy that I thought ghosted me, that I did like a whole 2-part episode on ghosting. But I think I needed that. I think I needed to be humbled. You know what I'm saying? I think I needed to remember what's important, and like to get my shit back on track. Because do you know how embarrassing it is to have like a whole speech in your head about how you're about to cuss this man out, and then he want to pop back in like nothing ever happened? And not only pop back in like nothing ever happened, when I say nothing ever happened, I don't mean like he's like manipulating, gaslighting, like, oh, you're crazy, why would you, no, like comes ready with apologies, and like talking about, I should have been more communicative, I should have been more open, I'm really gonna work on that, I'm sorry. And then the next time like they need some space, they do say, hey, I'm really sorry, but like I'm not having a good time right now and I need space, I'm gonna try my best to get back to you at the blah 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 blah. It's like, oh my god, like, yes, this is what I asked for, but it's terrifying when it happens, when it's standing right in front of you with a dick and balls, and they're behaving, because it's like, you're a man. Like, why would you do anything good? Like, that's crazy. Why would you do that? That's weird. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, I have my little trusty issues, which means that every time, something good is happening, I always am waiting for the other shoe to drop. And I'm like, is the shoe gonna drop? Is it gonna drop? And that can be really scary. So that's been the brunt of my therapy journey recently. And I started reading, it's really hot in here, so if you hear me fanning, it's because I am fanning myself with the little your sign that I have. Or maybe I should use the my. I think I'm gonna use the my sign. But it's very scary when it's happening, because the thing is, so I started reading All About Love, right? Which is a book by Bell Hooks in which she talks about love. And I'm still on the introduction. That is a long fucking introduction, bro. And I'm not even gonna lie, it's a little bit boring. I want to get to the nitty gritty, but I'm being a good consumer, not consumer, but a good consumer of literature, a good reader, and I'm gonna read the fucking introduction. I'm still on the fucking Roman numerals pages, okay? But the one thing that I have picked up so far from reading this book is that from the fucking echoes of beginning of time, one thing people have been terrified of is getting hurt. This is not a new emotion. I am not the first person to be terrified of feeling pain, because I decided to be vulnerable and to open myself up to love, and whatever that may look like. I'm not the first person to feel this pain. I am not that important that nobody else on this earth has ever felt how I felt. Now, there are levels to it, and some parts of it are different, because I am a neurotippy baby. She's a little neurotippy girl, and no, what? I'm not neurotypical. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, I have the mental illness, love. So it makes things a bit brasher. And especially like if you have something like rejection sensitivity, and if you got daddy issues, if you got all that, and you never seen like a secure relationship in your life. So obviously there are challenges that present different levels of like issues for you to face. But I think at the end of the day, nobody wants to get hurt. Nobody wants to feel pain. Nobody wants to feel rejection. Nobody wants to feel that ache. And that ache is so, there's no way to avoid it, is what really sucks. There's no way to avoid it. You are always opening yourself up to the chance of being disappointed, of being hurt, of being let down anytime you open your heart up to anybody. And it could be a love interest, it could be a friend. The minute that you start to find solitude in somebody else, and you find a safe space, and you start unbuttoning, and you start unlatching, and you start unpacking, you know, there's so many things that could happen, and some of them will make you sad. But at the end of the day, you have to continue to love. And like, that shit is wild to me. It's really wild because all the time, I think I've said this, like, I wish I could like just turn off the part of my brain that like wants love and stuff like that. But that would mean turning off my entire being. I am such a lover girl, and like recently, like I've really stepped into like this feeling of fully being a lover girl and fully loving love, bitch. Like of loving love. Like, fuck, I love love, bitch. I love it. You know what I'm saying? I really love it because there's just such joy in it, and like there's so many beautiful things that can come out of it. Like, oh my god, like I'm not gonna get like extra vulgar, I really was about to, but like you like somebody and like you fall in love and like you have like these intense feelings. Like the fact that just talking to this man gets my panties wet, and he's not doing nothing special. He's not doing nothing special in these moments. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Miley Cyrus has a lyric that says, "It turns me on that you care." Oh my god. There is nothing sexier than, like, a man who gives a fuck. Who gives a damn. There ain't nothing sexier than that. You know what I'm saying? A man who cares about your well-being. He cares if you're well-fed. He cares if you're happy. He cares about your day. Who you're telling him the dumbest fucking story that even you are like, this, for some reason, you are just absolutely enraptured in the tea and the gossip and the drama. And he's like fully interested. And like, the thing is, I don't like, the man does not care about the gossip. He cares about that you care about it so much, and he likes it so much. Which, by the way, hold on, while we're here and before I even forget, which is why I got hella beef with DDG, Halle Bailey's little boyfriend or whatever, because like, I don't know if y'all saw that tweet, but he tweeted, he said, he twote, and he said, should he watch the animated version of the Little Mermaid, or should he just wait and watch the live action one? And I'm like, so you mean to fucking tell me your girlfriend is a Disney princess? She got the role of a fucking lifetime. She is literally changing so many little and older black girls' lives in this moment by seeing a black fucking mermaid. The Little Mermaid was my favorite fucking movie, and now to see a sister in the Caribbean with a little Jamaican lobster, sister, to see my girl, my sister, my cousin, you know what I'm saying? To see that, and I know how important that is to me, and like it's important to so many women, so many people. And to tell me you didn't even watch the animated version, you didn't even do your fucking research. You didn't watch a 75-minute kids movie while your girlfriend was getting hounded by racists, while your girlfriend had to be alone for a year to shoot in London by herself, where she don't know nobody. Listen, I saw that and I was like, that's a hating ass bitch if I ever saw one. That is a hating ass bitch if I ever saw one. And I saw something today on the Twitter that this girl said, I'm really happy that Halle Bailey's team is making her not, like, they're kind of separating them on the red carpet so that when she looks back, because girl, I really hope they don't, no offense, not like wishing bad upon anybody, but like, I don't like the dude. Girl, we hate your boyfriend. Um, but like, hopefully they break up, whatever. But it's like, you don't want to look back at these beautiful times in your life and there he go, little stink, little bugaboo in the side in all of your fucking pictures, like, and then you gotta get on Twitter and ask the bitches to Photoshop him out. You know what I'm saying? Like, these things like can be temporary, and Lord knows I hope that shit is temporary. That boy sucks. And I was like, I cannot believe you just fixed your mouth to admit that out loud. Are you out of your fucking noggin? You've lost your shit. I was real disappointed to see that. I was like, fuck, my standards were low, but like, wow. Yeah. So anyways, but there's something so sexy about somebody who just fully supports you and they're excited about the things that you're excited about, and they allow you the space to be excited about the things they're excited about too, and that they create boundaries and they respect boundaries. I think that has been like the craziest thing to experience, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't think I've ever, no, not ever, but like, no, not ever. And I don't think I've ever like really engaged with a man who actually like liked me. You know what I'm saying? He liked the idea of like getting to fuck me. Or like he liked the fact that I liked him. But like I don't think like I've ever experienced that kind of like situation where like somebody likes me as much and if not more than I like them, and they're actually like afraid, well, not afraid, but like, you know, my opinion is important to them. I always felt like I don't know, I was getting crumbs, girl. I was taking crumbs and I was getting them, and they were just doing the bare minimum. And it's just like, you know, this person, like, they're making plans, they're taking note of the things that I like, they're very excited about me, and like that feels so fucking nice. And bitch, when I tell you that shit turn me on like a mother, turn me on like a motherfucker, let me tell you something. So I've just been really excited about that. I'm in a place in my life where I have to take a lot of leaps of faith. I basically have to shut my eyes and jump and jump and jump, taking a leap of faith in all of the things that scare us, and accepting that there is failure, there is pain, there is disappointment that comes with all of these things, but we can't let that necessarily stop us from taking the leaps of faith, because what could happen could be so fucking good. And I have to give a lot of credit to one of my friends today. If you're watching this, hey, she's probably not, because she hates mouth sounds. She hates mouth sounds, and I do a lot of mouth sounds, but today, this week, like, she's really been given like the best advice. And like today I told her, I was like, damn, you really should start charging people for this advice. Not me, but people, everybody else. Not I, because I'm fun employed. But it really just put into perspective, like, people are so good at putting into perspective just the little things that you need to hear. There's so much fear residing in our spirit because of our experiences with people who have disappointed us or have made us feel not good enough and have made us feel not worthy of the love that we think we deserve or the success that we think we deserve. And sometimes what it really takes is somebody reminding you how simple it could all be, how easy it could all be. Like, I was having a moment where I was having a cute, fun, sexy little spiral, and I was saying things like, what if this happens? What if this scary thing happens? What if this other scary thing happens, just in a different way or at a different time? And she was like, let's pause and let's think about, what if this amazing thing happens? Have you thought about that? What if you get all of your heart's desires? What if that happens? And I hadn't thought about that. I had not let my mind go as far as to thinking, what if everything works out? And honestly, that was a little scarier than thinking about all the other things that could happen. Because when you're used to disappointment, you get a tough skin. You learn how to deal. You learn how to honestly move on. You learn how to trudge forward. But that opening up again and allowing yourself the possibility, the turning over to reveal your soft white underbelly, it is terrifying and it is so scary. And it truly takes bravery, and it takes a brave person to be able to do that again and again and again through adversity, through pain, through hardship, through disappointment. And so if you are constantly turning over and showing your soft side and letting your vulnerability peek through or letting it out, you are so strong and you are so brave. And I am so proud of you because, girl, it is hard and it is scary. There are so many times when I think, there is no pain more, I cannot handle any more pain than this. And then life comes around and she's like, I promise you, you can. She's like, you know what's really sexy? 3 times this pain. Would you like to try it? And then I'm like, oh, I was wrong. I can withstand a lot of pain. And when I'm in these moments and when I'm in these times, I often feel like it's the end. It's the end, that there is no other place for me to go. There's nothing left to happen but more pain. And I have to remind myself that this moment now is not tomorrow. This moment tomorrow is not now. Tomorrow is not the future. The future does not end the minute we get to it. It continues to create more and more events. And these things are so sporadic that we don't know whether they're going to end up good or bad. And there's so many times when things go bad that we are so thankful for it in the future. Are we not? We're so excited that things went to shit because we're like, fuck, I really hated that guy. Like literally, my mom brought this up and I was just like, I was so triggered because I was like, why would you bring that man up? Y'all remember that man, right? That man that I was dealing with, that literally every time we got into a fight, he would leave mean comments on my Apple podcast reviews. He would leave evil ass comments. Like he would be like, you need to be, this host hates men. She should have been aborted and stuff like that. And it's like, bro, every time we got into a little scuffle, it didn't matter how small it was or how big it was, that boy was leaving a review. I'm calling, it wasn't even Twitter fingers, babe. He pulled that phone up. He said, I'm going straight to the source. He said, 1-star review, bitch. I hate you. You hate men. You should have been aborted. Like, I was like, what is wrong with him? And he was so stupid because his username on Apple was a word that he could not spell for real in real life. Like, that's on me. I'm really fucking around with a man who can't spell basic words. You know what I'm saying? That's my problem. You're with stupid, Divine. So he would misspell the same word on the Apple review and in real life. And I was like, are you fucking serious, bitch? So that's how I, caught wind of that. But I was thinking about, well, I was not thinking about it, actually. I had buried that shit deep in the depths of my mind. But here come my mother, excited to bring it up again and remind me, okay? To remind me of, another failed talking stage and all that hullabaloo. But she was like, when I think back on that, she was like, think about like how immature that was and how like lame that man was. And like, he had nothing to offer you, genuinely nothing to offer you. And you were so positive that this was your man, that you manifested it, that he was your soulmate, And now you have this person who is so the opposite. He is so the opposite. Like, this man loves boundaries. He be doling them out. And like, he creates boundaries in our conversation that I wasn't even expecting. And then I'm like, oh, this makes me feel safe. This makes me feel nice. And like, sure, like there are little issues and stuff, but like, it's not anything that's worth losing your shoe over. You feel me? So, and she's like, this person is actually taking the time to get to know you, and they're really appreciating you for everything that you are, and they're not leaving you 1-star reviews and evil reviews on your Apple Podcasts. And she was like, and now this is the time that you want to run away. It's now that you're having second thoughts. Yeah, I got distracted as fuck because I got an email and I was like just on my phone like let me get everything squared away. So I had to send a bunch of emails, had to buy a fucking plane ticket just now. But got all that done, and now the really hard part is headed forward. But anyways, I also took some time to call my man. That's really my man, you guys. I hate, okay, I'm manifesting. I really am, because right now on paper, he's giving everything that I want. And the craziest thing is, which is the mistake I've made before, is telling men exactly what I'm looking for, exactly what I want, and then being surprised when they meet that to a T, and then something happens and that's not really who they are. And I'm like, well, yeah, no shit, girl. You gave him the blueprint of how to, finagle you, scoop de doo you. You made it super easy. So that's something that I've strayed away from doing. And like this time, like I had a moment where I was like, did I tell this guy like all of these things? And I didn't. I did not tell him shit. Like, this is just who he is. And I'm like, God, if you slayed, just tell me you slayed, girl. God, if you slayed, just let me know that you slayed. But can't speak too soon. Can't speak too soon. Can't be too excited. And then, in like a couple weeks, I'm like, besties. But see, that's me thinking negative again. Because, like, also in a couple weeks, I could be like, besties. Besties. You know what I'm saying? So, we got to be real. We got to be real careful and all that. But yeah, and you know what's crazy? I was actually like talking to my therapist, and I was like, do you think like I'm ignoring red flags? And she was like, no. She was like, I think one of the things that like I have to learn how to do is continue to practice detachment even when things are going well, until I got a ring on my finger. Like, you have to constantly practice detachment so that when things come across to your table that are not exactly what you're looking for, you're not reasoning yourself to accept it, and you're looking at everything objectively, and you're making an informed decision, and you're not making a decision like based off because you're a lonely bitch. You know what I'm saying? So that was like one of the conversations we had today, just because, listen, yeah, so anyway, so last time I saw my therapist, she made me write out a list of everything I was looking for in a partner. And girl, I ignored doing that for a long time because, one, I didn't want to literally just sit there and like write out all the traits of my crush. You know what I'm saying? And also, I don't know, like it scares me because the last time I did it, the person literally came and like I thought it was it, and then, we got fucked over. So this time, sat down and wrote my dream partner. Okay? And I made a surprising discovery at the end. So my dream partner, this is a manifestation. So we're gonna tap into our manifestation voice, mamas, okay? As I fan myself off a little. So we're gonna tap into our manifestation voice, yes. The girls are manifesting. Venus, goddess of love, if you're listening, open up your motherfucking ears, bitch. God, you need to give me what I want now, okay? I am losing patience, okay? So, my dream partner. Hey, my dream partner is kind-hearted. He is empathetic. He is patient. He is understanding. They try to talk through things even when it's hard. Are you repeating after me? You should be, okay? My dream partner inspires me to be better, to work through the issues I didn't even know I had. They're funny. They have their own interests, and if they're not my interest, they fucking respect that, okay? They create, did I already do this? They create and respect existing boundaries. They are thoughtful. They affirm me. They are a caretaker. They let me be a lover girl. Because we all know I'm a motherfucking lover girl. And I got no shame about it, bitch. I love love. I love love. And if you have a problem with me loving love, you just a hating ass bitch. And God himself cannot save your bitter ass. Sorry. They encourage me to pursue my dreams. My dream partner does not gaslight. He does girl boss. And he does not gatekeep. Okay? So that was what I wrote down. And I don't know if you noticed this, but real personal growth here. I did not write down any physical qualities. Oh my God. My dream partner doesn't have to be 6'4". You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, my dream partner, like, he can be like 5'3". He can be 5'3". You know, it doesn't matter. What matters is what's inside of his heart. Because obviously I want someone to accept me and to love me for all that I am. And you know what? Sometimes you just have to accept a man for all that he is at 5'3" and 5'4" and 5'2" if you really have it in you, you know? So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Are you really gonna like pass up on a loving man just because he's not 6'4"? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know? And I think that's where I got fucked up the last time, because girl, last time I did this, I said I need him to be 6'4". Little Mr. Crazy came, he was 6'6". I said, oh God, you passed my standards by 2. But you know what was in those 2 inches? Psychopathic behavior. Like narcissism. Okay? Anger and rage. Like, you know, a lot of it. A lot of it. A lot of anger and a lot of rage. That was what was in the extra 2 inches. Okay? And not to mention, you know where that 2 inches really should have gone. Yeah. I'm not going to hit below the belt, but if I did, I doubt he'd feel anything. I'm just saying. I learned that really late in our relationship. That there barely was. So, you know, I dodged a bullet. We're good. We're good. We're good. But I was so specific on the looks. And when the red flags started popping up, I said, but he is exactly what I described. What parts of him did you exactly describe, Divine? What parts? That he was tall, okay. He had nice eyes. He had light eyes. This was also like when I gave a fuck about that shit. Like, I just don't care anymore. I don't. Like, you know, I be on my little white boy tip. Not gonna lie, I do. But, and I think that's because for a long time, I had a lot of like bullshit happen with like black men. And I'm not gonna lie, I was on my little, I'm not dating black men because I don't know how to deal with y'all. Y'all don't like me, whatever, whatever, whatever. But there's so many good black men out there. And like, honestly, I think it's unfair to just lump them all together. But that was when I was on my white boys only tip. And then I was like, oh shit, y'all all suck. Y'all suck like ass. Like, it don't matter if you white, if you Asian, if you black, if you Arab, if you Mexican, if you Turkish, if you Vietnamese, if you whatever. Men are gonna be men when they're bad. You know what I'm saying? So I think like that really like shook my thoughts a little bit loose. And I was like, okay, so you were 6'6". You were everything that I thought I wanted on paper. You definitely were sexy. You were definitely what I wanted to fuck. But have a life with? Deal with? No. Like, you're so shitty. Like, you're so shitty. So that was a good lesson to learn. I definitely think so. That was a great lesson to learn. And I learned my fucking lesson. You know, I learned my lesson. But that being said, that being said, I told my therapist all of that, and then one thing that I didn't write down that I should have written down was that I want to be with somebody who we both we want like everlasting love and like everlasting light and everlasting joy and everlasting happiness. I want somebody who's gonna put their well-being first. And I don't mean that in a selfish way. I mean that if you need help, you can say that. And I think a lot of times, like, there's just so much shame about it, and we've talked about it a lot, but I really want somebody who they can recognize that, and that's something that they are fine and okay with. Because this is the thing. I want to fall in love, right? I want a man to fall in love with me. I want him to be like, oh my God, you're so perfect. You're so beautiful. Let's get married. And then I'm like, oh my God, you're right. And then he's like, wait, before we get married, let me buy you a house. And I'm like, oh my God, you're right. And then he buys me a house. And then we get married. And then we have babies. And then we have like hella babies. And I'm talking like 13 babies like Queen Charlotte up in this piece. You feel me? So we got like hella kids. Like we popping kids out the wazoo. Like my pussy gonna be so tired, but it's like, girl, we gotta do what we gotta do. You know what I'm saying? So we're like popping out hella kids, and then we're having like hella grandkids, and then I get hella fucking old, and then he gets hella fucking old, and then I die, and then he thinks about it for like 2 seconds, and he's like, oh my God, I love her so much, and then he dies, and then, you know, we float into the sky holding hands, and then we live happily ever after in the sky. You know what I'm saying? So that's like really what I think about when I think about the kind of love that I want. And you can't really get there if, you know, you're not of sound mind. And I think that's something that like I really value in a person and that I look for. And, you know, that's something that I really want. But yeah, all that to say is I'm excited. I feel really hopeful about the future for the first time in a long time. And I don't just mean that because like I'm talking to this person, but I also mean that because like the New York trip was amazing. You know, the devil really tried to do some shit, but I refused to let her. I was like, you don't know me. You really don't know me. If you think this shit's gonna bother me, you're not. Like the day that I had a very important engagement, why the fuck did I get food poisoning at 6 in the morning? No, actually, sorry. At 3 in the morning, I was up blowing chunks till 6 in the morning. And then I had to be ready by 8. I was not well, babe. Like, I was not well. But I was really happy still. Even though, like, I was sick, I was so happy to be there. And I just, you know, I was a trooper. I did what I had to do. And I can't wait to be able to even tell you what the hell it is. But anyway, so while I was in New York, I also got myself a little gift. I got me this necklace. It's a D. I got myself this little gold necklace. It's a D in the Gothic font. And I just wanted to give myself a little gift to, you know, really celebrate me and remind myself how proud I am of me, because boy, am I fucking proud of me. I think we have come such a long way on this podcast, and I've been counting down, but there's only one more episode left. I've been counting down, and there's only one more episode left in the season before I take a short hiatus. Last time I took a hiatus, it was for a month, but I think this time it's going to be a little bit longer than that. It's probably going to be between 2 to 3 months. I'm trying not to let it be 3 months, but with everything that I have planned to do, it might be 3 months, just because I want to give myself the time. I want to allow myself the time. And if I get this, I applied for something that would be super helpful, like with everything I want to do. And if I get that, it might end up being a little bit longer than that. It might end up being 6 months. But when I tell you we're going to come back, pussy popping, we're going to come back with a crazy catalog, Sade. So yeah, but I'm super excited, and I'm just, I'm feeling blessed. You know, my bank account's not looking blessed, but I think sometimes you have all these opportunities and you realize quickly, like, money ain't everything. And I'm just happy to be here. You know what I'm saying? I'm really happy to be here, and I'm feeling the love. I'm feeling the excitement, and I'm just freaking happy. So yeah, that's where we are, girl. That is where we are. So that's the end of this episode. I didn't even get into half of this stuff I wanted to talk about, but this is the thing. This week I'm going to try to finish reading All About Love by Bell Hooks, and so that we can have a full-fledged conversation about that on the next episode, because I really want to open our hearts up to love again. And I'm not just saying that because I'm really having a blast right now. No, I'm saying that because I started thinking about that before I even met this person, because I didn't want to be in my lonely girl era. I didn't want to be in my sad girl era. And like, even when I thought that this was going nowhere, I was still, even in the grief of a potential ghosting, I was still trying to set myself up for positivity and happiness and joy and understanding, and going through whatever I was going to go through in healing and in a good space, in a good moment. So yeah. But yeah, so I'm so excited. I can't wait. And yeah, as always, the best way to support a small independent podcast is by sharing it with your friends and your family and on social media. Go ahead and sign up for the Patreon as well if that's something you're interested in. And make sure that you follow me on the socials at Vinephilo, VinePhilo. That's on TikTok, that's on Twitter, that's on Instagram, that's on all of the girls. So yeah, I am super excited. I look forward to whatever the future holds until I have a depressive episode. But I love you guys so much. You are the light of my life, the light of my world, all of it. I love you so much. Bye. Mwah. Mwah.